we've got a full crew here. We've got Darlene, John, Jess, Kurt, and Lottie. And I am Stuart. And we're going to start off with the news right now with Jess. So take it away.
Hey there, folks. All right, so we have some park news starting on January 9th. Very exciting news. All guests with a park hopper ticket, including annual pass holders, do not have to wait until 2 p.m. to park hop. Park hopping will be available all day long, and that is starting January 9th. Now that Moana's Journey of Water is open at Epcot, Moana has set meet and greet times also in Epcot. Check them out on My Disney Experience app. She's also greeting guests in Animal Kingdom, so if you have 2 opportunities to meet with Moana on your trip. Annual pass holders, be on the lookout for bonus park reservations that do not count toward your allotment for passes. Check My Disney Experience for these extra dates. Annual pass ticket prices have increased, all up to about $50 more. Theme park parking also went up to $30, up $5 more. And keep in mind, this is free for hotel guests. So if you're staying on property, you do not have to pay for parking. I have Disney Plus news. Do not miss Once Upon a Studio, which is now streaming starting this week, and it debuted on the 100th anniversary. It is only about 10 minutes long, but it will make you want to rewatch all the Disney animated films. It is so good. Check it out. A live-action remake of the Disney animated television series Gargoyles is in the works. Gary Dauberman will be the showrunner, a writer and executive producer, and James Wan will be an executive producer as well. And Disney's Wish will be out in theaters on November 22nd, but tickets are now available at your local theaters. For park hours, tomorrow, Friday, October 20th, Magic Kingdom is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a 7 to 12 Halloween party. On Saturday, 8 to 11. Sunday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a Halloween party from 7 to 12. Monday, 9 to 11. Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a Halloween party from 7 to 12. Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And Thursday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a Halloween party 7 to 12. Epcot and Hollywood Studios are both 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And Animal Kingdom is 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Typhoon Lagoon, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Blizzard Beach is closed. The Boardwalk, 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. And Disney Springs, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. But on Friday and Saturday, it closes at 11:30 p.m. And for the weather, very exciting for us Floridians right now. Expect highs in the low to mid 80s this week with lows in the mid to high 60s. It is forecasted to be partly sunny every day next week, but don't let the forecast fool you. Always be prepared for rain and stock up on sunscreen. And that is all I have for today.
All right. Thank you, Jess. Great newscast this week.
See you real soon.
Take care. Have a great rest of the week and weekend.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Jess always does a great job delivering the Disney news. So this week, we're going to give our top 3 for 2023 Disney resort restaurants and top 3 Disney park restaurants. So let's see. Why don't we start off, Darlene? Pick either the parks or the resorts. I don't care which one.
Do you want me to just give one or all 3 of
them? Just give your third choice for either one.
Oh, my third choice. I will go with my third choice for parks. And that would be, drum roll, please. I'm going to say Crystal Palace.
Okay, good choice. John.
We want to stay. Oh, well, I'll just stay within the parks then. And I put 10 out, and I kept shifting them around what order they were in. It was tough. And this is a new one, and this is my top three. So
Mhm.
my number 3 is Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. For the amount of food you get, the quality of food. It's not fine dining, but the food is good, and it's satisfying, and it's a fun environment. So number 3 for me.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that because I haven't eaten there yet. So,
Mm.
but yeah, I've heard so many good things about that place. All right, Kurt.
Yeah, my third one, I had to make a third because I haven't eaten there in a decade, and that's Les Cellier. I still love their Canadian cheddar cheese soup. I can get that during the wine and dine, but couldn't make it higher than that, unfortunately.
All right. Lottie.
My number 3 is at the Magic Kingdom. Skipper Canteen, Jungle Cruise. What's the full name of that thing? It's got like a 12-word name, but everybody just calls it Skipper Canteen. That's that one. My number 3.
All right, good choice. Everybody's had good choices so far. Mine is Mama Melrose in Disney's Hollywood Studios. When I started thinking about the restaurants, I go, well, it's 2020. It's like, where did I eat in 2023? I only want to include restaurants I've eaten in 2023, and that I had a pretty darn good meal there. All right, number 2, Darlene.
Okay, I'm going to stick with the parks. Let's do those first. So, my next one would be 50s Prime Time.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I love it there. I mean, I like the food and the ambiance, and if you get a waiter who asks you if they can, have, a good time teasing and stuff, you're really lucky when you get one of the, seasoned cast members.
The only problem I have with that restaurant, it's not the food, and it's not the cast members per se, but some of them have toned it down, and it's probably because of comments they've gotten from guests who can't take a joke.
Well, I think it's also people, if you're going to dinner and you just want, a little bit more quiet and relaxed, it's not that you're just not prepared for it. And some people, that's why they go there.
Yep.
Other people, they're just coming off the street and they don't know any different.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because they don't do what every Disney fan, every Disney guest should be doing, and that's prepare for your vacation.
The smart Disney guests, the ones we discussed.
The ones that did not watch the show last week. All right, John, what's your second choice?
My number 2, and I'm falling back to another one of those comfort, good feeling restaurants where you get more food than you can possibly eat, plus you get entertainment, plus you get characters. And mine is Garden Grill for number 2.
Mm-hmm. Good choice.
It's a good one.
Good choice. All right, Kirk.
I am actually falling back with Darlene for my comfort food at 50s Prime Time. And sling it at me. Go ahead. Bring it on.
Okay, good. Lottie.
My number 2 is Tusker House over at Animal Kingdom. Character dining. It's pulls some of the food over from Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jungle Juice. I like Tusker House.
Good choice. And my number 2 is same as John's. Garden Grill. Finally, we agreed on a place to eat. John and I usually don't, we like similar foods at times. We don't always agree on the same place. And
we agree on a lot. There's just a few edge cases where we don't align.
Yeah, I can only think of 1 or 2 actually, but yeah. All right, Darlene, your number 1 in park
My number
2023.
I really was having a hard time with this one because I'm tied now since I tried the Garden Grill. But I'm gonna go with the Hollywood Brown Derby.
Another good choice. Now, did you say you almost tied it with Brown Derby, Garden Grill?
Well, I am tied with it.
Well, then how did
Then how did Garden
Garden
Grill
Grill
knock
not
out
make it in
this?
your top three?
Yeah.
Well, because I've eaten. I love that we love the Hollywood Brown Derby. We always have a good meal.
No, no, don't back out of this.
Yeah, we understand the
not
Brown
backing
Derby
If
part.
it was going to tie for number one, it should have been in your top three at least number two.
Well, but I like the other restaurants too. So I had to eliminate, but my one I was going back
God.
and forth because I just recently tried Garden Grill.
For
we
those
did
folks
enjoy it.
watching us for the first time, Darlene's logic is not always logical.
Well, the only thing I do have to say, if you were asking me about breakfast, I
You
would not have
didn't.
picked Garden Grill. I would have picked lunch at Garden Grill.
Yeah.
So, yes, but I'm going with the Hollywood Brown Derby as my number one.
Okay. Good choice. John.
My top one. I have been to Italy twice.
Oh, thank God he's not going to go where I thought he would go.
I have, and I don't mean the Italy pavilion, but I've been to Italy twice, and boy, oh boy, do they have some good food there. And the closest place in Walt Disney World to get pizza that tastes like that is Via Napoli, and the water comes from Pennsylvania.
It's a great state of Pennsylvania.
I love going there. So it's not, I didn't pick any fine dining restaurants for my top three, even though I had fine dining in my top 10, but I picked Via Napoli for my number one.
Good choice. All right, Kurt.
I went the exact same way. It's a good place to go as a large family. You can get a big pizza. I'll sit down, grab yourself a salad to begin with. It's very, very good. I really enjoy. And we were very upset we didn't eat there this year.
Yeah.
We went a different route. But there's always next year.
I know Lottie's not going to pick the same place you guys did, so.
Yes, I know that too.
Lottie, what's your number one in park restaurant?
My number one in park is probably one of the more controversial choices.
Ooh.
But I cannot find a better meal in park than at Tiffin's and Nomad Lounge over at Animal Kingdom.
Is that considered a sit-down restaurant?
Tiffin's is, yes.
Tiffin's is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. You're right. Absolutely right. I was thinking Nomad Lounge, but you're right. Tiffin's is.
They share a kitchen, so some of the menu items are the same, but
yeah,
Tiffin's is amazing.
It's not so controversial. It was on my list.
Was it?
Yeah.
Every time I talk to someone, they can't stand it.
I have not eaten there yet.
Hey, they've got some good octopus there.
Yeah.
Can't eat it.
No. And my number one choice is, it seems like the guys are sticking together on this one, Via Napoli. Living, I grew up in New York City, lived in New Jersey for a number of years, and now I'm here in Florida, and I got to tell you, you can't find good pizza around here. There's a couple of places that come way close, sort of, kind of, not really. So going to Via Napoli for me is like a treat. It's not the same as New York pizza. It's not even close, but it's so good. I love the crust on the pizza too. It's like, I could eat that all day. Just the crust. Just give me the crust.
Yeah. It's a fun environment there with the 3 volcano ovens.
Yep. Yeah.
And the servers are fantastic there.
They are.
I agree.
They're so friendly and helpful, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. We got 3 more picks to go for each of us.
Well, I tallied the numbers there. So I gave anything that somebody chose for number 3, I gave 1 point. Anybody that chose something for number 2, I gave 3 points. And anybody that chose something for number 1, I gave 5 points. And I mean, it's not surprising. Via Napoli was the top with 15 points, but 50's Primetime and Garden Grill were tied for second. And
wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised about 50's prime time, but that's interesting. I knew Garden Grill would be there.
We had 2 votes for both of them for second place,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it separated it just above Brown Derby.
And by the way, for anybody watching or listening at home, there is no wrong choice. With the exception of 1 or 2 restaurants on Disney property, most of them are really excellent. I can only think of 1, and the 1 or 2 that I can think of that are a little subpar are not run by Disney; they're run by a third party. So I'm not going to mention the names though, because I don't want to dissuade anybody from going there if that's what they choose to do. At least not on this show. But speaking of shows, we've been doing the Save Darlene thing each week. Darlene, it's not looking good.
Oh man,
It's not
viewership was down last week.
I didn't see a lot of thumbs last week.
No,
And she
I
pleaded
didn't
for
see
her
much
life.
of any thumbs last week. If you want to save Darlene's spot on the show, you got to give us a thumbs up and like the show. You want to save Darlene, please. Let her have it in a good way.
I did ask them to save me while I was at Vero Beach.
That is why nobody gave us any likes.
That's so funny.
Darlene's doing a self-serving promotion for herself to save herself. No, stop.
Unless you can find people at Vero Beach to come give you a thumbs up.
Yeah.
You should have been out polling.
I know.
Yeah, I think she was drowning in the ocean of Vero Beach based on last week.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, last week the show did not do that well.
Yeah, when you go to Vero Beach, make sure you take good off. My feet are itching from the no-see-ums.
No-see-ums are tiny bugs that are called
you can't see.
You can't see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move over to the resorts. And we're going to start with Darlene again.
Okay. 1 second. I got a question. Are we doing
go ahead.
Resorts only? Because
Yes.
my list has Disney Springs on it.
No Disney Springs.
We were told no Disney Springs.
No Disney Springs. Okay, all right.
Sorry, you have to take Earl of Sandwich off your list.
Yeah, sorry, Lottie.
All right, I'm gonna mute and scribble some more. Okay.
That's fine.
We apologize to all those boathouse lovers out there, and you know who you are.
She wasn't gonna pick Boathouse. Are you kidding me?
I love Boathouse.
You do?
Yeah.
I do. I
like it. I don't love it.
Oh my gosh. I always go after the race and order the giant lobster that hangs over the side of the plate. It's amazing.
I'll tell you what we're going to do, because we're not going to include Disney Springs, but I'm going to let Lottie give her picks from Disney Springs before she changes everything to the resorts.
Nice.
Oh, okay. That's easy. Boathouse, Wine Bar George, and Art Smith's Homecoming.
That would have been my 3.
Good call.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Chef Art Smith's. I've eaten there, and it was okay, but you know what? I'd rather go to the Chicken Guy, which is a counter service restaurant.
Yes, but Darlene and I would probably enjoy the Moonshine Flight over at Art Smith's.
Now, Boathouse I like. By the way,
have to do that.
There is one restaurant there I would never recommend anybody go to, and that's the Edison.
We've heard you say that.
Yeah,
I've never been there.
It's not good.
I've had people talk me out of going there.
I've been twice, and I gotta agree.
Yeah, see,
I've done the appetizers both times,
and people warned me not to go there, and I didn't listen, and it was like I should have listened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, contrary to our guidance over the last couple of weeks, you need to go out and experience things for yourself before.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Look, most people love the Boathouse. I think it's good. Don't get me wrong. It depends on what you get. The crab cake there, as I mentioned on the pre-show, is phenomenal. You're not going to get a better crab cake anywhere.
It is good.
But you know what? There are things. If there's something on the menu that just got on the menu, see if you can find people you trust to tell you whether they've had it or not, and if they like it. Because when they experiment with things like that, and that could be with any restaurant, it could be great or it could be not so great. It depends on your taste in food too. Everybody's got different tastes. All right. So here we go. Number 3, Darlene. Resorts. You're not ready?
I gotta tell you, this was really tough. Three.
Yeah.
This was really, really tough. But if I have to choose, I'm going to go with oh, you're pulling at my heartstrings here. I'm gonna go with California Grill as my number 3.
Okay. John.
It's a place I haven't been to. So you said it has to be 2020. Well, I haven't eaten.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah.
See, I no, for myself, I'm only
Yeah,
picking restaurants that I've been to in 2023. I
Okay.
don't want to do that to you guys
Okay.
because not
Okay.
everybody lives in Florida.
Yeah. Okay. So I haven't been there recently, but every time I've been there, I consider it to be top notch, and it goes against what I picked from the parks, and it is a fine dining establishment, and it's Flying Fish.
I love flying. I haven't been there in a long time, but they have the best steak I've ever had on property, ever. But I haven't been there in a long time. I have to get there. I have to get back there.
Darlene, what was your first pick again?
California Grill.
California Grill, right? Thank you.
All right, Kurt.
You know, that was the first place I ever ate sushi.
Really?
I still can't eat sushi. Fish allergies. You know what? I'm going to go simple fare. It's a buffet. It's the ambience that draws me in, and it's Chef Mickey's. So I haven't been to many fine dining establishments when you're going with children. So
Yeah.
I'm going with Chef Mickey's. I really enjoy that. Ambiance is everything.
Okay. Good. Lottie.
So I just scribbled 4 down, and I'm struggling over which one is going to be number 3. Because I've only eaten there for breakfast, my number 3 is going to be Steakhouse 71 over at the Contemporary.
I ate there a couple weeks ago. Loved the burger there. Absolutely loved it. It's not the best burger I've ever had, but it's a little different from other burgers I've had, and it's great.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, good choice. My number 3 is an oldie but goodie, Whispering Canyon Cafe. All right, Darlene, you're number 2.
My number 2 is going to be Trattoria El Forno.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but I haven't eaten there yet, but I've heard good things.
I forgot about that.
They have a good breakfast. I know that much.
I've had dinner there a few times, and I've really enjoyed it.
All right, John.
Number 2 for me, Boma. It's great for breakfast. It's great for any time. It's always hard to get in there, and they have such a selection of food, and I think it's also great.
Yeah, good choice. Kurt.
My number 2 was your number 3, and that's Whispering Canyon Cafe. Show up thirsty. Maybe you want some ketchup on that, fries, but be careful when you ask for it.
Yeah. And it's always a fun place, too. The food's great. The service is great, and it's always a fun place.
Great food. Never-ending bowl. It's great food.
Yep. All right, Lottie.
My number 2 is California Grill.
All right. Good choice. My number 2, Boma.
Boma, he says.
Yeah, great buffet. Food that's a little different from things we're accustomed to here in the States, which is always wonderful to experience. And I love how the cuisine is prepared there, even though it is a buffet. They do a great job there.
And certainly the Animal Kingdom Lodge is such a nice environment. Yeah.
Yep, it is. Absolutely. All right. We're down to number 1 at the resorts, Darlene.
Okay.
You have another tie?
I kind of did.
And she's tied. Her number 1's tied.
And your tie is not number 2 on your list.
Well, it was your number 2.
Who are you pointing to?
What was Boma? I love my but I love Ale and Compass.
Well, there's
Ale and
lots of
Compass
restaurants
is-
we love. It's tough to pick three, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's very hard. Ale and Compass is definitely. I've been there a number of times, and it's always been very good.
I ate there for the first time about 2 months ago. I want to say it was
Mm-hmm.
great meal.
Mm-hmm. Big
Yeah.
portions too.
Yep. All right, John.
Oh, my first place one, yes. My first place one is, again, another fine dining, also character, also great at breakfast. My number one is Topolino's Terrace. Topolino's Terrace.
Nice. All right.
My number one is not somewhere you would think of as a table service, but
McDonald's?
it's considered a table service. Not McDonald's. That's not at a resort. Geyser Point Bar and Grill. Sit out there. If they consider it a table service, believe it or not, because if you're not getting the carry out, it's right there, and they have waiters for
All
it.
right. Judges, are we going to allow this?
It's right here on the list.
No, you're not a
Look at
judge.
table
Lottie,
service.
Darlene,
It's there.
Lottie, Darlene, and John are the judges. Are we going to allow this?
It's not counter service.
No.
No, it is considered table service.
Yes, I can't argue that it's not sit down, personally.
Yeah. I'll allow it.
Yeah, me too.
All right. You're allowed,
But
Kurt.
it's got some of the best. I mean, one of the best bison cheeseburgers on property.
It's so
The
good.
steak sandwich is really good, and that sweet chili glazed fried chicken sandwich.
That's good.
Boom,
too.
boom, boom. It's the trifecta right there. There's a reason why Wilderness Lodge is one of my favorite resorts. It's the food.
Yeah. Can't argue with that. All right. Lottie, number one.
I think I know where we're meeting for a meal next time we all go.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And that would be Boma at Animal Kingdom.
Can't argue that. Love
I can't
Boma.
argue.
And my number one choice, it's the best buffet I've ever eaten in my life, bar none. Cape May, and for dinner, Cape May Cafe.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The seafood is plentiful. The service is great. The food, it's a small buffet. It's not a tremendously large buffet, but the atmosphere, it's wonderful. And I actually can't wait to go back there again. I'm hoping before the end of the year I'll get back there one more time. Love that place. And that concludes our.
Well, hang on. So I tallied the numbers up, and first place was Boma, and there was a three-way tie for second place, all due to individual top picks, and those were Topolino Terrace, Geyser Point, and Cape May Cafe, which I'd go eat at any of them. But
Yep.
And just behind them was Whispering Canyon and California Grill. They each had 4 points.
Yeah, and I'll allow everybody to give honorable mentions for both the parks and resorts. For me, the resorts honorable mentions would be any restaurant. They're all
Kind of true.
Yeah. Olivia's rather. Where else did I eat this year?
Olivia's has always been
They're all
good.
great. You can't go wrong with a resort restaurant.
No.
Does anybody know a resort restaurant where they would not eat for dinner?
No.
Not talking counter service, but sit down.
No, and there's so many that I keep saying I want to get back to, but there's so many I want to try, so I haven't gotten back to. Or so many I love so much, I want to go back again soon. So
I've never eaten at Chico. I would love to eat at Chico's.
Oh, Chico.
same here.
Oh, it's excellent. Man.
Same here.
Yeah.
We've never eaten at Jico or Boma because I have a picky eater.
Mm.
We just didn't know what they would eat.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to do it sometime when you're down here without your kids.
Have they done Tusker House?
No.
Okay.
No,
We
fair
did
enough.
Tucker House with my kids years ago, and everybody liked it. Don't get me wrong. Everyone really liked it, but we haven't been back since. And it's not because we haven't wanted to go back. It's just there's so much to choose from. And we kind of like Satuli's Canteen, which is a quick service, but
Service, yeah.
it's just like it's the best quick service
That's
on
good.
property as far as I'm concerned.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Did we do a top 3 quick service restaurants?
I believe we did.
I think we did.
We might have done a top 7.
Top 7. There you go.
Yeah. So, John and myself don't really drink. Kurt, I don't think you drink that much. It's the ladies on the show.
Not these two.
That's why we haven't done a favorite drink or favorite bar. We didn't do, because only a couple of us can really participate in that.
So, but that's the good thing about choosing a favorite bar is my husband doesn't drink either.
Mine doesn't either.
So the hallmark of a good bar is where everybody has something that they can get there.
Right.
Do you know what I don't understand? When I was a kid, and I can barely remember when I was a kid, but when I was a kid, and growing up, it was, and watching my parents, they would all drink socially, the men, the women. As I got older and I started going to bars with friends, I noticed that it was the guys really drinking, like the women might have wine where the guys are drinking like Jack Daniels or something else. And now that I'm older and I'm watching, you guys here and everyone else, it's the ladies that are drinking and the guys don't.
It's because they are going to put up with us now.
No, it's because I think it's because
And I know these are all
it's
generalizations.
socially acceptable.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I went to Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar and had a Coke. It was one of my favorite places to go. I wanted to take my kids back there.
Yes.
And neither one of them smoke or drink. They don't smoke, they don't drink, do nothing. But it just the ambiance of being inside of that place with everything that was just the whole place. We ate out on the boat. But and they expanded their dining.
5.
Yeah.
When my old boss was down here, he I mentioned Jacques Lindsay's, and we were able to sit on the dock over there, and we got appetizers and drinks.
Cool. Now, does anybody want to give any honorable mentions for park restaurants?
A bunch of them.
Oh, yeah. I can do that.
Go ahead, darling.
Cinderella's Royal Table.
Never ate there.
Mhm.
It's been years.
Yeah, I haven't eaten there in
I've eaten there one time.
years.
Been there a couple.
No. I didn't have Crystal Palace on my list because I didn't eat there this year, but that used to be our go-to place every trip that we made when we were not.
It's still solid. It's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
Mama Melrose's is still good Italian food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
Stuart
still
had
make
that
good
one.
Italian food.
Yep.
I know Stuart had that.
Yeah. I don't. I tend to hear hot and cold about it, but I really enjoyed Space 220 when I was there.
I did too.
I still haven't eaten there.
I thought the food was excellent. It was not inexpensive, but it was excellent food, and I love the experience.
Yeah,
I did too. Yeah,
I agree with you, John.
Yep.
God, I'm agreeing with
Yak
John.
and Yeti.
Stop it!
It's twice.
Yeah, Yak and Yeti's another
I
great
like
place.
Yak and Yeti.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yak
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeti.
It's been a while since I've been there,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I never
Yak
had a
and
bad
Yeti's
meal.
really
It's
good.
hard to finish everything on your plate at Yak and Yeti.
You
And a
can't.
trick: there is a counter service restaurant next to Yak and Yeti that serves the same food.
It's not a trick
Correct.
for Kurt.
That's my go-to quick service.
Yeah. God, I'm hungry now. I had dinner already. I'm hungry.
We ate right before this. It worked out well.
Yeah.
Stop. I've got another 365 days till I get there. So.
Yeah. Just quickly, we're going to get out of here in a couple of minutes. And I appreciate everybody's time. And I'm going to urge everybody again, please give us a thumbs up and a like so we can save Darlene. Otherwise, it's sayonara. I already have your replacement picked out, by the way.
Oh, good.
Where's
Michelle
Bernie?
agreed to come on.
No, where's Bernie? The dog.
Oh, Bernie, there we go.
You know what I need to do? I need just temporarily on our WDW Fan Zone app, I need to put a page out there with a thumbs up and a thumbs down.
Oh, that would be great. Save Darlene.
And allow people to anonymously vote.
Yeah. I also want to mention our preferred travel planner, which is Mouse Fan Travel. They've got great deals going on right now at their website, which is www.mousefantravel.com, www.mousefantravel.com. I also want to give a shout out to Victor Naraki, who's a great realtor. He found Darlene her home. He found my home here. Couldn't be happier with the choices that that I made here, you made there. Love living in Florida. Don't like the fact that I still have to make reservations at Disney, but
hopefully one of these days we won't have to.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully soon. Anyway, Victor is he's celebrating
Florida.
That's it. And you can find out all about him if you're looking to move down here. He's the guy to go to. All right. Any other mentions you guys want to bring up before we do head on out of here? I know there was something else I wanted to mention, but I forgot. I'm old.
You forgot? Oh my God.
I'm allowed to forget.
Nobody mentioned Skipper Canteen, and I know.
No,
Yes.
That was my number
you
3.
did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed. I'm sorry.
Jungle
Wait.
Navigation Company.
John, you're not as
LTD.
old as me. You shouldn't be
Skipper
forgetting.
Canteen.
I just missed marking it down. I'm sorry.
What I forgot about was the Grand Floridian Cafe too. Is a good one.
And I'm glad nobody mentioned Sci-Fi Diner.
I'm not gonna cause Stuart or any of our listeners any more pain to go through that again. So,
well, you know what? I'll mention something about it. The food is good, but if you want the food and you want to sit comfortably, go to Backlot Express. It's less money there and more comfortable. But if you're looking for the ambiance, go to Sci-Fi Diner.
3 Bridges.
Oh yeah, I forget about that one.
At Coronado Springs.
Never been there.
Oh, you
Never
gotta
been
go.
there.
It's
I've
so
never been
good.
to Coronado Springs. It's like I think that might be the only resort I've never stepped foot in. Oh no! No, I have been to the Riviera.
Is that a table service?
It's a
I
thought it
thought it
was.
was dock bar like
yeah.
with food. I mean, we sat at a table. I sat at a table of I think 8.
I'll be the first one to admit when I was trying to look it up, I had the wrong thing clicked, so I was stuck in only the resorts. So when I'm looking up on the Disney webpage,
Is the sangria flight is amazing. Their fries are delicious. Like I didn't have a bad meal. I haven't had a bad meal there yet.
After you've had their sangria, do you remember the fries?
Yes.
Well, Toledo's very good there too, and it's at the top of Gran Destino Tower. It's almost so it's kind of like Topolino's Terrace or the California Grill, where it's up on the top of a restaurant of a resort tower, and it's fine dining. But it's very good there. We had friends out there for dinner.
Sorry, John, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry.
You guys had to recommend a restaurant in park and a restaurant at the resorts. Which would be your choice to recommend to somebody who hasn't eaten anywhere on Disney property?
The parks and the resorts.
Yep. One from each. Money's no object either, so we're going to assume they can afford whatever you mentioned.
I'm still going to send them to Geyser Point because after you've been walking all day, you're going back to the resort. You just want some nice comfort food. Geyser Point.
Okay.
And of course, Via Napoli.
Yeah, in park I would say Via Napoli. In a resort, I would say Whispering Canyon Cafe only because there's something for everybody there, and it's a lot of fun. So for people who may be looking for something that's good eats and good fun, that's the place to go.
One of the places we didn't talk about was Sanaa, and I would recommend
It's
that.
not Sanaa.
It's not. It's I would recommend that for an out of park because it's got some great food. It's got great ambiance, and you can see animals there from your table.
True.
Without having to stay at the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Thanks, John. Now I can't get that song out of my head.
Which one?
Hey Sanasana.
Hey Sanasana. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna mention
It's actually Kesara, but
yeah,
Rico for the same reason. But the bread service at Sanaa is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
It is not hyperbole that the bread service is good. It is. It never gets old. My gosh, it's a meal.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us this week. I just want I'm going to give people a choice now. You know, if you give a thumbs up to Darlene, you save her. If you give her a thumbs down, we're going to have Bernie, my dog, on the show. And he might bark a lot when we have discussions, but I don't think he'll bark as much as Darlene.
I think people are going to vote thumbs down just to see it.
And on that note, we're out of here. Everybody have a great rest of the week. Be safe. Be yourself. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
See you real soon.
I want to share very quickly. It is not necessarily easy to come up with the endings that I do. And I usually do it in the middle of the show and feverishly trying to think of things. But I did come up with something new tonight. Since we were talking about food, we talked about seafood, which I love some of the seafood down there. We talked about some of the seafood. So I have to share tonight as we go. Les poissons, how I love les poissons. Love to chop and to serve little fish. So we hope that you don't find us fishy, and we truly wish that you come back to hear us and watch us dish back to you next week. Good night, everybody.
Have a magical night. Stay safe and pack your sunscreen, your bug spray, and your rain jacket.